And on the running rail, Lossiemouth, but still full of running, angles out under July Flower and gets the run. Back in fourth place now is Carla Joyeuse, and now Lossiemouth has the leader Jade de Grugy in her sights as she saunters up to the leader on the approach towards the last. Lossiemouth glides to the lead in the mares. In second place, Jade de Grugy. Then behind these running on is Take No Chances with Joyeuse. Over the last, and Lossiemouth is just simply too good. 3 consecutive festival victories as Lossiemouth cruises to success for Paul Townend and Willie Mullins.
The new line still got a length or so to find, and slightly more than that now. Dash is beginning as they head down towards the last. There'll be 3 just about in line. The Mian line, the new line being held onto on the far side, obviously just going to be trying to use his turn of foot up the hill, but he is going to turn into a dash. The new line on the right, Brentford Hope, and on the inside, the Mian line, who has the rail to help. The new line's just doing enough. Brentford Hope's rallying, and up towards the line, the new line is going to win for the Skeltons.
Lulamba controls the race now as he heads towards the 13th and final fence. It is Lulamba by about 4 lengths to a rallying Son Segal. Lulamba is over, jumped that well. Son Segal in second, Liberty Hunter in third, and then comes Calico, but Lulamba really warmed to his task in the jumping stakes. He's now clear by about 7 lengths, and he'll retain his unbeaten record over fences. It is Lulamba who'll go to Cheltenham as a big player, all right. He wins for Nicky Henderson and Nico de Boinville.
Hey guys, and it's Botson back with Botson Racing. As the yearly tradition goes, it's Cheltenham weekend. Well, week, and we're back as usual with a slight twist this year at going to the races. We're going to be there this year. It's going to be really exciting for myself. I've never been before, something that I'd love to experience. I've never done before. Usually watching the ITV racing at home, seeing mates, watching it, going around a friend's house. This year, actually going to the races, so it'll be a whole new experience for me. Lots to see in the betting ring, lots to see in the parade ring, to see how the actual festivals run instead of being, sat on a sofa watching it, on the TV. So definitely a different experience. I'm very more used to getting the exchange up on my laptop, watching the TV, having a punt on my phone per race. But yeah, this year this can be totally different. So really excited. Can't wait to watch these 28 races we've got planned for this week, and really buzzed to hear the Cheltenham roar. I'm sure everybody is. So looking forward to seeing how many people are there, what it's like, the experience, the food, the ring. So yeah, it'd be really good to experience it, I guess. Sort of lost for words to how excited and pumped I am. As always, this year I'm going to slightly change how I do these. I think usually how I would do it, I would sort of tip sort of a point system of what to bet, how much to bet, each ways, naps, next bests, and opinions per race. But I think this year, with a lot of my betting being heavily revolved around anti-post markets, and the opinion of prices of me taking it then back in September, December, sort of January time compared to the prices they are now, and things that have happened throughout the season, opinions change. So I'll do it completely differently. I give you my personal take of the race, anything that seems big. If it's a race that is a no bet or a watch, I'll give you all those sort of run throughs. So speaking of which, let's get into the Cheltenham 2026 Festival. Sign off with the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Again, this year, not really blown away by all the stars. Last year we had Kopic going in for us. Last year I think I was on him at 25s, which was a nice way to start the festival. And after that, it just went completely downhill with the likes of Hasbro losing, John Bond losing, Ballyburn losing, and so on, Galopin de Champs, etc. So it's been quite a crazy sort of season in terms of horses that have done well last year and horses trying to repeat that success this year. And a lot have failed. And we'll go into those on the Wednesday and the Friday in particular, because there's quite a few in there that have that issue that I'm talking about, sort of repeated success. But we're here now. We're talking about the novice hurdlers, horses we haven't seen before. And the front of the market, we've got Old Park Star. He's been 3 for 3 this season with Nicky Henderson. A horse that's taken Nicky by quite some surprise. I don't think he had high regards for this horse this season. I'm sure he had higher hopes in other sort of young stars, but this one has become sort of emerged out of the darkness, out of the clouds. This came sort of a small surprise, and he's progressed through and through this season. He looks really, really good. His last run was super impressive in my opinion over at Haydock, and is the worthy favourite. I think he makes sense to be the favourite, and 5 to 2 is about a fair price, I'd say. In second favourite currently, I've recorded this the night before, is Talk the Talk at 92 best price with Patrick O'Brien. He fell in his penultimate run and sort of bounced back to form last time out. He was questioned to go into the Turners or here. Looks like Connections have opted to go over the 2 mile trip. I really am a little bit against that. Seen quite a few previews with sort of racing judges thinking that he might be suited to this, and I'm a little unsure. Yeah, I wouldn't be too full of confidence. I think the longer trip made sense. The way he finished out his race last time out didn't scream 2 mile hurdler, sorry. Yeah, 2 mile 4 would have made total more sense, and the race is completely wide open in that race, whereas this is a hell of a lot competitive, and there's a lot in here that have got great chances. So he'd be one I'd try to avoid. The other one I would try to avoid is the horse we're talking about now, which is Mighty Park, a horse that is ran in an absolute no race, only 1 race this season, 1 in a canter, but he's not run against anything good. Now, there's been some move for him, anti-post market. We're talking a month ago. I think he was out to 20s, 25s for this race. And yet he kept creeping in. 25s to 16s, 16 to 12s, 12s to 8s, 8s to 7s to 6s to 5s to 4s, all the way down to 3s. And that just shows you why there's not much value anti-post, because as soon as the Betfair exchange comes out with the actual races, not the anti-post markets, the actual races, you'll see Betfair go, a horse that was being laid at 3s, go all the way out to 8s, 9s, which just shows you there's just zero value in sometimes in some of these races where you think you got value, but you really haven't. It's always best to avoid those sort of races. Sort of those time zones or time schedules when you're trying to have a bet on a market. There's no real value anti-post. But again, he's a horse from Millie Mullins, been quoted as the next Vorheen, my favourite horse. And I just, as a punter, if you're looking at a bet on this race, you cannot be thinking 11 to 2 is value. You're almost just going in blind and just accepting that Willie Mullins is a masterclass, and he thinks that he's got an amazing chance to enter it in the Supreme. But you can make the case it's very similar to Mystical Power. And the issue with Mystical Power is she had a couple of runs. Mighty Park hasn't. He only had 1 race and a very, very weak race going against some really, really tough opponents. So he'd be definitely one I would look to avoid. It would be one to check on the market strength. If he's sort of seeing supported action, it wouldn't put me off. It'd be a very telling thing, I should say. But if late money comes in for him, that definitely says Connections fancy him a lot. Money's come in very strong, as I said, in the last month, but it'd be one to sort of put aside. The other one I like in this at a price is Cairos at 15 to 2. I think he's probably your second horse to finish in this race. I think he finishes second is what I was trying to say. Yeah, lots of pace, lots of speed. Unfortunate to fall in the penultimate race, but again, Gordon Elliott's not giving him a hard time. Next time out, he's giving him a really weak maiden hurdle to go over. He's done that quite nicely, and he comes here at a big price with a few journalists interviewing Nicky Henderson and saying that Cairos is the main danger to Old Park Star, and the prices don't reflect that. So yeah, he's a horse I've been fairly keen on. a few nibbles on him anti-post way back when he got sold to Gordon Elliott about 9 months ago. So I'm on at double figures, but I wouldn't put you off at 15-2 eights on the day. And we'll talk about a couple of more. My Daddy Paddy, I don't think has got a chance with the new hurdles being further back. I think you can completely rule him out. Leader Dallier, don't think he's got a chance either. So McLaurey's got an interesting note to him. Got one of the quickest times posted. His numbers are really nice. He's seen market support, just a weak trainer and not a great jockey, so good luck there if you follow him in. Yeah, I can't be really too... The numbers are good, but I can't really be too heavily involved on that sort of price and that sort of bounce to Cheltenham. We'll go on to the next race, which is the Arkle, obviously, and this is as much as a 2-horse race as it possibly could be. How I see this race playing out is Cargisi leading, followed in by Kopek, followed in by Lulamba. We won't even bother talking about the other 3 in here. Steel Alley should be probably about 50s. Jax Jr. should be about 100s, and Hansard should be about 1 million. In terms of prices and probabilities, it will just be Lulamba versus Kopek, and we'll see how much Lulamba will find. One is a pure 2-miler, bred 2-miler, and the other one will be stepped up in trip next season. But we're talking about today and not next season. So who wins? My head says Kopek de Boodles will win. My heart says Lulamba will win. Significant position on him, anti-post. I fancied this horse after his first win this season. On around about 9-2, 5-1. And Kopek, I think, is one that you can't really back again on the day. Like a lot of these horses are based off of trainers' words, expectations, how ready they'll get them fit. Now, Willie Mullins will have Kopek de Boodles, he will have Mighty Park raring to go. It's just, you don't know what's going to happen, especially with Kopek's setbacks. It would really put me off. So if we're just looking at a match bet between these two, I don't mind taking even money, plus money, odds against Lulamba to win, a match bet against Kopek de Boodles. Because you're going to get Lulamba. He's got high cruising speed. He'll sit and track Kopek and hopefully come round the bend, finding plenty with Nico, hopefully winning the first 2 races. So yeah, Kopek is a better horse. I just don't know if he's ready for this race. And he is the pure speed horse, the pure bred horse, the pure 2-miler. Lulamba, we know what he is. But I just like Nicky's in this. I think Kopek should win if he jumps and he's ready. But I really want Lulamba to win this race, financially and hopefully, in that sense. Okay, so on to the 240, the McCoy handicap hurdle. We'll briefly go through this a little bit quickly. Winston Jr. last time out was fairly impressive. Lost to Milella Study, which is quite poor. A lot of these horses in here are horses that are trying to quote unquote cheat the system, trying to hide away their sort of talent. The one in here that was small interest was Manlaga. Manlaga was sort of hyped up to be a Triumph horse, the Triumph horse. They were hoping he was actually going to get entered into the Triumph even a week ago. So that tells you a little idea of they sort of fancy this quite a bit if they were considering going to the Triumph. And the rest, the question marks on, again, it's very difficult to read form into these. Saratoga, he's been well fancied, anti-post. He ran in a race at Nace, which has thrown up 4 of the last 7 winners of this race. So that's why he's been fairly short and quite sort of bullish in the market. A lot of these JP horses on day one are extremely short, with obvious reason, of course. But again, there's not much out in here that sort of you can take on, really. Yeah, Amez lost in a flat race last time out, 6 of 7. He didn't look that great. Glen to Glen, Will he repeat that sort of form? Unexpected to know, decent in the weights. So yeah, I mean, it's one that, for a betting perspective, there's not much sort of value getting 5-1 the field. Each way wise, I mean, there's only one really I could probably suggest, which is Pourquoi Papa, if I can say that right, 20s. Numbers read nice, finished second behind Manlaga. Yeah, so, 20s compared to 7s, there's a significant difference in price and they weren't too far apart from each other. So he could be one that could run into a place, but it's something I'm trying to avoid here. Probably a single fire bullet on Manlaga on the day, I think. Going to the next race, which is the Ultima. Traditionally would be the third race comparing to last year, but for some reason they've got this fourth with an extra handicap in there. And we've got Jaguar heading the field with Iroko at 13-2, Martown at 9s, Highland at 10s, Quebecois, I think is how you say it, it's 10s as well, Johnny Hugh at 12s, and 14-1 bar with handstands. The Ultima I've had really bad successes with. It's usually the one that ends up going to the British. The Irish have really, really bad luck here. But again, looking at the front of the market, you've got Jaguar and Iroko, owned by JP McManus, and are technically the best horses in the race, and again, why are priced as such. You've got Martown as third fav, the winner of the race last year. Iroko is probably going to use this for his Grand National trial. Jaguar will be there or thereabouts, I would say. I don't think he's ever run over this distance, being 2 mile 4. He seemed to always stay the trip, but he's just not found the extra gears. I found that being on him for the races this year, he's just agonizing. He's painful to watch sometimes. It's been chinned at odds on, I'm pretty sure. Last time out wasn't that great either. I think he found market support last time out, but again couldn't finish it. So yeah, there was a few in here. I think the extra places could be nice. The ones that I will give a mention to are Konfusion. Lost to Imperial State, by the way, which got absolutely backed in last time out. I think he was 33s into 9-2. But this time, he's off of pretty much level weights with Imperial Saint. Imperial Saint's only gained £3 for that run last time out, which is interesting, and he's still a big price for this race. But I thought Konfusion ran admirably last time, off the same weight, others gaining weight. I thought the mark of 145, that's extremely fair. Handstand as well as another horse that could run well. Sort of campaigned as a 2 mile 4 horse last year, and prefers the heavy, I think, from memory. So the ground could be a question mark. Again, he's off of a mark of 155 near top weight off this, same with Iroko. Could he be a graded horse in a handicap, very similar to Iroko? We don't know. But yeah, I think, I mean, I can't be backing Jaguar at 4s. Iroko's using this as a prep, same as Coric Rambler. Could he be worth a squeeze? Highland for Nicky Henderson seen significant movement in price from 20s into 11s, I'm seeing. Johnny Who in the Cheltenham Festival last year got beat as low as 104 on the machine in the Kim Muir. I think a lot of us were on that day. That was very saddening to see. But yeah, I think the couple I'd go with here would be Konfusion. I quite like Resplendent Grey with Sean Bonner on board. And we'll go with Highland. Those are the three I'd look to sort of back. Maybe Highland's a little bit too short now, I think. So maybe Konfusion and Resplendent Grey. 16s and 20s. On to the feature race of the day, and that is the Cheltenham Champion Hurdle. And an extremely interesting race when you really look at the history and the price movements of the horses and the difference of horses being favourites in this race. It's been quite a story, especially for journalists. They'll love this sort of stuff. With Sergino being very, very, very short for the Champion Chase, then deciding to move over to hurdles, You then went into even money to win this race. Unfortunately, had a really bad hiccup in one of the races, which meant he was out for the rest of the season. And then all of a sudden, not John Bond, I get my head myself here. Constitution Hill is now back. He's run a flat race over Southall and he's now bolted up by 10. Here he comes, and the owners decided not to run. So really, really, really weird price changes, movements of odds. Lossiemouth now coming here instead of the mares, which is really, really interesting. She should have gone here last time. And the races of it, obviously going into this has been also very interesting as well. I think if you look at Lossiemouth getting beat last time, 2 Brighter Days Ahead, you'd surely expect the form to be reversed this time at Cheltenham, especially how Brighter Days Ahead has performed at Cheltenham. Let's say, you know, she got beat in the champion hurdle last year when flat out should have really won, with State Man falling and Constitution Hill falling. Now, maybe you can put a line through that because she is a front runner and she looked beat after, you know, the first 2 hurdles. But you'd expect a horse, you know, in that position where she was, with State Man falling and Constitution Hill falling, being in that position, how she not won that race, I do not know. And let me go back into 2024. It's the Mares Novice Hurdle. Brighter Days Ahead is really, really well backed. She's gone off of even money, and Golden Ace is in this race, and she beats both Brighter Days Ahead, and I think it was it Jay DeGrugy? It might not have been Jay DeGrugy. It might have been Jay DeGrugy in the Mares Novice in 2024. So yeah, I mean, Cheltenham form for Brighter Days Ahead is not much there, and I really think that the form's going to reverse this year. I think you're going to see a very, very strong Lossiemouth running here. I think a lot of money's going to come down on this thing. A lot of people are going to be on her. You look at further down the field, I've got a significant position on the New Lion. I thought he was the key horse to back this year for this race, with the issues with Constitution Hill, likely Lossiemouth going to the mares, which meant, in my opinion, the New Lion stepping down to 2 miles and winning a couple of hurdles this year probably made him favourite. But with the fall and the fighting 5th and the not so convincing win last time out, means he's around about 2nd favourite coming into this. So head says Lossiemouth, heart is going to be really, really, really cheering on the New Lion. I guess we'll briefly skip over the rest of the field. Golden Ace, he's going to need a miracle to win this race. Poneros, absolutely no hope. Couldn't be touching that, especially last time out. Alexi's interesting. Won nicely last time out. Finished 3rd in a handicap off top weight. Amsterdam is probably about the right price, and Tutti Quanti wants better ground, work ahead, no chance. So yeah, I think Lossiemouth will be in a lot of people's acres. A lot of people will be wanting to back Lossiemouth, and I'll be cheering home the New Lion. Fingers crossed. As I said, heart says Lossie, head says New Lion. Okay, moving on to the penultimate race, which is the plate. And the nap for me of the day is McLaurey. I've been trying a lot of things with this thing. The distance, the ground, running it very, very weirdly. This screams an absolute plot to me. Emma Mullins is very shrewd in that regard. JP's number 1 here in this race, and even though the Skeltons are very, very keen in Mandara, I just can't be putting past this one. This one seems like an absolute absolute plot, getting in at a mark of 133. I mean, I don't know how they've managed that, but a mark of 133 puts them in 17 in the weights, and a very tasty mark of 5-1 I'm seeing. I think I'm seeing 6s on the machine, but 5s with books. I wouldn't recommend going each way, just a straight up win on this thing, and hopefully he'll get it done. And the final race, the National Hunt Cup. Over 3 mile 6, and there's a lot of here that you're just guessing is going to do good at this trip. None have really sort of ran that sort of distance. A couple in here that I thought was slightly interesting was Grand Geste, Walking on Air, and Carasso Blue with Jack Kennedy on board. Small each way plays on the day, I think. Be looking to avoid Back Me or Sack Me. Newton Tornado, convincing winner over 3 miles. Don't know if he'll stay to 3 miles 6. But again, this is an extremely hard race to call. As we said, we don't know too much about these horses, but you know, there's quite a few here that have run over 3.5 miles in weaker company, being put up a few pounds here and there. But I think the place value is where you want to go on these. Grand Geste, Walking on Air, and Cairos Blue. 11s for Cairos, 18s Grand Geste, and 14s Walking on the Air. Make sure you look for best odds guaranteed on these, and try and avoid horses on, for example, Sky, where they don't offer best odds guaranteed, because sometimes their prices are very, very poor unless you know that you're going to beat the SP fairly well. Okay, we'll leave it there. Somehow I took 25 minutes talking there. That sort of flew by. I hope you guys have a very good Cheltenham race festival. Let's hope tomorrow, i.e. Tuesday, goes very well. I hope you guys have a lucky day. Let's hope that the new line goes in. Let's hope Manlaga goes in. Let's hope McLaurey goes in. Let's have a JP McManus day, essentially, is what we're cheering on. Old Park got El Kairos in the first, and you couldn't ask for a better start, essentially. But buzzing to go to Cheltenham. Cannot wait. I'm so excited. I will take some videos. I'll upload it in the Wednesdays video, reviewing, talking about the festival, some clips of the races, filming the Raw, of course. So stay tuned. I hope this has been semi-informative. I'm not going to put too much time or opinions or trying to spend too much time, even though it's ended up being 25 minutes. I'll try and cut down in the next video. And I didn't want to go too much into depth in some of these, but I hope it gives you a little bit of a gauge of where my head's at in terms of pricing on the day, and how our opinions change from the start of the season to where we are now. So I hope that helped. See you guys tomorrow, and fingers crossed the new line wins the champion hurdle. See you.